You know what? Actually, we're gonna move. Yeah, let's jump ahead. Let's put it in the middle of this because we're just merging stuff this week. Tweak console corner. Give it a go.
All right, we'll do this now. Before I get into the console stuff, I would like to, and if we had Assault Zone, that's where this would go. But I can't let this go by this week.
Feel free,
On
brother.
the Tuesday stream, FDev's stream that they do every Tuesday afternoon, Thursday afternoon, Tuesday stream, their moderator, Osric is his name, made a comment that, and to quote, "Don't ask questions like an idiot and you won't get banned. Simple as that," unquote. Of which community manager Zach retweeted, echoed, whatever you want to call it, and kind of like seconded that. And I just got to say that for a company that is trying to be a professional, top of the line game company, FDev is, well, they were a multi-billion-dollar company. They've got games that have sold very well. They've got another game they're pushing pretty hard right now. For them to allow their people to treat their community that way, to call us idiots. I mean, I was banned. I didn't ask questions like an idiot. And even if I did, I wouldn't expect to be called an idiot by the company themselves. That is not a professional look for them. And I know it has turned a lot of people off. And if I hadn't already tuned out from FDev, that would have done it for me at that point in time. It's inexcusable, in my opinion, to allow their people to act like that towards the community that play their game, that love their game. It's just another misstep in a long line of missteps that they've had for the last bunch of months.
Mm. All right.
That aside, for console news, not really much going on elite wise. But like I said, I've been playing Mass Effect. We did get some news that came out yesterday, though, that I don't. A lot of you probably remember the old Dead Space games that came out in the early 2000s, I believe. EA, and I know EA cringe, everybody cringe, but they are remaking the games, and Dead Space 1 and 2 at least were really good, really good. So we'll see what comes of those. It could be some fun things coming our way in the future.
Hell yeah. All right. Does that wrap it up for the console corner?
That it does.
Fair enough. That takes us to Frontier News. Patches, changes, maintenance, nothing happened. Newsletter, as far as like explaining anything of use to me, nothing happened. Streams, there were 2 of them. Nothing good happened. Forum post, nothing happened. Galnet News, Roy, take it away.
Yeah, there was let's see, 6 stories this week, and I thought there was maybe some good stuff in here. The first one, Galactic Mysteries, the Far cult, here we go, the Far God cult. I kind of like this one. The discovery of 2 abandoned void temples in the Etain system provided an insight into the cultist mindset. So this is like an end of the world doomsday cult.
Yes.
That thinks the Thargoids are emissaries for some extra dimensional god.
Basically, they think the Thargoids are dark angels. The Tharg, the mighty, the leader of the Thargons, is basically going to bring an apocalypse and kill everyone except for the people that worship him, and those people will be fine. Logic.
Yeah. So this is, I think this is kind of some cool story. More recently, there's reports of several chapters of the sect migrating to the Panjabell system. This is controlled by the Pleiades Concordat, a theocracy devoted to the far god. So perhaps it's preparing something bigger or stranger than we've seen before. So this is setting up, the CG that we'll talk about in a sec. I think this is a cool storyline. The next one, July 20th, IHO reports on new onion head variant. It says we're looking at a new type of onion head that's less potent but easier to manufacture, so it's going to be spread out more. Its sophisticated composition means it's unlikely to have been developed by the Blue Viper Club. It's possible that Nomads acquired it from an unidentified research facility and have now cut a deal with the Kumo crew for distribution. Okay. Federation threatened by further secession. So this is after the Azalad Shu Free seceded. There's dozens of other factions now considering independence. So that's kind of ramping up. July 22nd.
Go ahead. Let me hop in there. So
Yeah.
the everything that you're going to say sort of forward is basically a variation of reporting on or talking about the community goals. The main real three things are the three stories you just said.
Yep.
I have to say this in defense of Frontier. All three of those are fucking excellent stories. Like, really good stuff that if I cared to spin up Elite right now at all three of those I feel like would pull me in. Now, I wouldn't be interested in doing the CG because I feel like I'm on the opposite side of that. I am against the cultists. But I feel like it's very compelling story there. I feel like the Onion Head variant story, especially when you pair it with last year's, Scythe of Panem stuff where they basically food poisoned tons and tons of people. They created the Blight and all that. Very compelling story. The Federation dealing with secessions while they're sort of cracking down and playing Big Brother on people. And on the other side of it, the Empire is cracking down and being like a dick to people. And the Marlinists, not the NMLA, I do not support terrorism, but the Marlinists, the non-terrorist Republican people of the Empire, I have great support for them. I feel like we need to take a moment and just acknowledge out loud the fact that Frontier is, paradoxically, they're doing a really good job with their story right now. They're just screwing up every other aspect of the game so hard that people are not interested. But the story itself, you have to give them credit. These are all good stuff. And I'm going to shut up now and let Roy take it back over.
Yeah, no, I think this loops back to something that AUDAXIUS said when he was talking about Elite. And you want to jump in here, AUDAXIUS? You wrote something just there in the chat. I think fits in here.
Yeah, I think it was just something that came up recently to reinforce what Kai said. It really broke my heart is that these are stories among a dozen or so that are all getting woven in, but the forum post of the Azimuth saga and the employee at Elite that put that up there basically almost like a call to the community, like, hey guys, remember all this is still going on. Here is the background to it. That to me was just like a clarion call from one of these storytellers that is really knocking it out of the park. And the technical obstacles of Odyssey, which present the biggest hurdle, have really muddied the waters. And I love the Azimuth storyline. I think one of the Far God settlements were one of the more atmospheric spots in the game. I love that they're pushing this in the story in some direction. I just think it's another heartbreak point that these great storylines are getting lost in the greater debacle with Odyssey.
We reported on that last week. That was Bruce Garrido that posted the update on the Azimuth saga in the forums. Tweak, you had something as well?
Yeah, I don't disagree that these are good stories, but to me, it's so easy for FDev to do the stories. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't take any effort, really. What do these stories lead to? Is it me going out and scanning a couple posts and getting a couple cool stories and then I'm done with it and I forget about it again? Because that's pretty much what all the rest of the stories have done up to this point. Don't get me wrong, I don't need my hand held, but at this point, I need more. I need some interaction. I need something to do. The CG doesn't cut it. Going to some listening posts isn't going to cut it at this point in time. You need more stuff.
Katie?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I mean, a lot of for example, there was Halloween. I forget the name of the megaship now, but there was the Adamastor storyline, which was essentially just the revelation of a couple of recordings and some text documents, essentially. I think that for what these story events are, as in for what you get as a player as return for them, they should be happening far more often. If they're going to resort to revealing text and some recorded audio when you find these things, I mean, this should be something that's happening weekly as opposed to every 3 months, say. I also feel that they don't do a good job of reading the room with this story elements, aiming things at the right audience. I'm going to use the Alexandria as an example, where the Thargoid hunting community, they're dumb Thargoid hunters. They want to fight. They want a big fight, and you gear up this event that looks like it's going to be a big fight, and then you make the ship disappear. It's an anticlimax. A lot of these stories end up in anticlimaxes. Hopefully that's something they can address in future. I sincerely hope that they learn to read the room a little more and gear things towards the audience that they're aimed at.
That is an excellent point. I feel like we derailed you, Roy. Let's get back to wrapping this up.
No worries, no worries. The next 3 stories, like you mentioned, are all setting up CGs. The initiative to outfit Fire God megaships on July 22nd. Free Marlinist candidate wins election. So KO Tau has been elected as prime counsel for the Marlinists following a successful data delivery initiative. And then New Onion Head variant reaches the market. So that was the conclusion of that CG. So we've got the finishing CGs. The one that won, support KO Tau. Pretty, I mean, 61% contribution, tier 4 of 5. Knocked it out of the park compared to the other side. Got to like 0 out of 5, 1% for supporting Verity Dexter. Then the 2 that are ongoing now is you can hull stuff or shoot stuff for outfitting the Fire God megaships or helping them outfit, and you get some decals for doing that. So that's the CGs.
Right on. I want to call out one last thing that AUDAXIUS alluded to in the chat, and that I saw it and then I forgot to put it in the notes, but I want to address it. Drew Wagar put out a video. It was 2 days ago. It was like how I would fix Elite, and I feel like it was a very, very good video. It is in the show notes. I've linked it in the channel there for you. I put it in the recording booth channel. It is a very good video, and if I had faith that they were listening, I would ask them to listen to this.